Good morning, grade 9. How are you? Hope you all doing well. Today we're going to take unit 9. The unit title Spend, Spend, Spend. And our lesson today is Giving It All Away. I want to ask you two questions before we start. First question: what do you spend most money on? Do you spend it on shopping, makeup, watching football match, um, going to cafes? And the other question that I want to ask you is, if you were really rich, okay, who would you give money to? To your parents? To poor people? To you just gonna save it for yourself and make your own projects? What would you do? Let's see our paragraph what it is talking about. Paragraph number 1. The title of the text is Thanks a Million. Imagine you had won 30 million in a competition. What would you do with the money? Would you give it all away? But in fact, over the years, there have been several examples of millionaires who gave away all their money to help others. One of the most famous was the entrepreneur Percy Ross. I want you to look here to the square beside it, number 1. Here there is a removed sentence. We're gonna know the removed sentences on exercise number 2 when we finish reading the text, okay? We have in the whole text 5 removed sentences. We have to put them in order again, okay? Okay, what do I mean by this word, entrepreneur? Entrepreneur is a person who takes a risk by opening a new company to make money. Paragraph number 2. Before we read the paragraph, I wrote you two expected questions for you. The first question is, when was he born? And the second question is, how he started his career. The answer for the first question: Ross was born in 1916 in Michigan, the son of a poor immigrant from Latvia and Russia. Okay? Now, let's see what his father work was. His father worked in the USA as a junk dealer, but Percy soon showed a talent for business and made a fortune in the auction business. And this is the answer for question number 2. But he soon made a fortune again with another business venture, this time manufacturing plastic bags. Business boomed, and he eventually sold his plastic bag company in 1969 for millions of dollars. Now, let's see the definitions of the highlighted words. Talent: a natural skill or ability. Auction: a public sale where things are sold to the person who offers the most money. 3. Venture: a project which is new and possibly risky. Number 4. Boomed. What do I mean by boomed? Grow rapidly, to become successful. Paragraph 3. Let's see the expected questions. First question is, how Ross helped the Vietnamese refugees in 1977. What did he do for them? Let's see. Number 2, why Ross had held a Christmas party of poor children and gave each one a bike. Let's see. Ross started giving away his vast fortune in 1977. He gave 50,000 to 50 Vietnamese refugees so that they could settle in a more comfortable home in the USA. So this is what he did for Vietnamese refugees. Then he held a Christmas party for 1,050 poor children in the American town of Minneapolis. He remembered that when he was a child, he really wanted a bike, but he had to do without it. Okay? So Ross bought a bike for every one of the 1,050 children at the party. And this is the answer for question number 2. Now let's see the highlighted words. The definition of the first word is vast, very big. Number 2, settle, to go and live permanently in a new place. Paragraph number 4. Let's see the expected question for this paragraph. Explain Rose's idea of donating in a regular basis. What did he do to donate on a regular basis? Let's see. After these first experiences of donating money, Ross came up with an idea for doing it in a regular basis. He started a newspaper column, Thanks a Million, in order to give away his money. And later he hosted a radio show. So, do you see what happened here? What did he do? He started a newspaper column called Thanks a Million. This is the answer for the question, okay? In order to give away his money. Let's continue reading. Readers and listeners wrote in and asked for money. He received about 40,000 requests every month and sent checks to about 150 every week. His gifts included money for poor families to help with their shopping bills and 16,500 in silver coins for children at a parade. Now, let's see the highlighted words for this paragraph. The first word is donating, giving things to other people. Second word, hosted, presented a radio show and talked to guests. Number 3, checks, piece of paper you sign instead of paying money. Paragraph number 5, the last paragraph. Now, let's see the expected questions before we read the paragraph. In your opinion, what do you think? Why Ross did not have any regrets when he looked back on his life? Number 2, when did he pass away? Now, let's read the paragraph together so we can answer the questions. It took years, but Ross finally succeeded in giving away his entire fortune. He published his last newspaper column on 19th of September 1999. I've achieved my goal, he wrote. I've given it all away. I never tell anybody, he said. It is not a question of how much one gives. Would I be a better person if I gave away 2 million than if I gave 1 million? However, people estimate that he gave away around 30 million. And did he have any regrets when he looked back on his life? On the contrary, if I would had it twice as much, he said, I still would have given it all away. For every person I helped, there were 400 to 500 I could not help. Percy Ross passed away in 2001 at the age of 85. Now, let's see the definitions of the highlighted words, please. First one, entire, it means whole or complete. Number 2, goal, aim or objective. Number 3, regrets, feelings of sadness about something you did or did not do in the past. Number 4, on the contrary, the opposite is true. Number 5, passed away, died. Now, exercise number 2 says 5 sentences have been removed from the text. Complete the text with the 5 of the sentences A to F. There is one extra sentence that you don't need. Here you go, the answers for this exercise, and you can fill it on the text. Exercise 3. Read the text again. Are these sentences true or false? Correct the false ones. First statement. Percy Ross is the only millionaire who has given away all his money. True or false? It is false, because the paragraph said over the years there have been several examples. Number 2. Ross's parents were born in the USA. This statement is false, because his parents were from Latvia and Russia. Statement number 3. Ross's first business was a company that made plastic bags. This statement is false, because we said his first was an auction business. Correct? So let's see statement number 4. Ross gave money to some people who had came to the USA to start a new life. And this statement is true. Number 5. Ross gave bikes to poor children because his parents had not been able to give him a bike. And this statement is true. Number 6. Ross started his newspaper column and radio show at the same time. This statement is false, because he did not start both of them at the same time. First he started with the newspaper column, then the radio show. Right? Number 7. Ross did not send money to everybody who asked for it. This statement is true. And number 8. After giving away all his money, Ross wished that he had not done it. No, he wished he had given away twice as much. So now we finished our lesson for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was easy for you. If you need anything, please contact me on my Instagram. Thank you so much. Hello, grade 9. How are you? Hope you all doing well. Today, we're going to continue our unit 9. We're going to take our lesson vocabulary. We're going to take activate, extend, and the phrasal verbs. If you remember, in the previous class, I gave you the definitions of the highlighted words in the text. Okay, so the first thing that we have today, the activate, you can find the answers over here. You will put them according to the context. Okay, today we're going to learn something new. We're going to learn inseparable phrasal verbs. What do I mean by inseparable phrasal verbs? It is a transitive phrasal verb which does not allow an object to be placed between the verb and the particle. So the second question that I want to ask you, where do we put the object of an inseparable phrasal verbs? Where I have to put it? Of course, after the phrasal verb. For example, I say, I take after my sister. I do not say, I take my sister after, okay? It can't be placed. So, are the three-part phrasal verbs separable or inseparable phrasal verbs? Let's see. It is inseparable. For example, like do, without, come up with, look back on. All of these are examples of inseparable phrasal verbs. Here I put for you the two kinds of phrasal verbs. We have separable phrasal verbs and we have inseparable phrasal verbs. What is the difference between them? If you look here to the blue circle, you will see put on. I put on my shoes. I put my shoes on. This is an example of separable phrasal verbs, okay, because it can be separated by an object. You can put the object in the middle. But if you look down with me, you will see the inseparable. Inseparable verbs cannot be separated by an object. So I say ran into. I ran into him. I cannot say I ran him into. It is incorrect. Do you see the difference between the separable and inseparable phrasal verbs? It is easy. Now we have the exercise number 2. We have to match transitive inseparable phrasal verbs with the definitions from A to G. First one says, go with your shoes. It means match, to match. Okay, number 2. Number 2 says, break into a house. What do I mean here by break into a house? I mean to enter a place that it is closed. Okay? Break into, it means to enter a place that it is closed. Number 3, we have count on a friend. Count on a friend means rely on someone. Number 4, we have come across an old letter. What do I mean by come across? What do I mean? I mean find by chance. I just found it, okay? By chance I found this letter. Number 5, pick on a small child. What does it mean to pick on a small child? To behave cruelly towards someone. Number 6, look after an old person. It means take care of someone, to take care of somebody. So we use the transitive inseparable phrasal verb look after. And number 7, go over an example. It goes with review, to review an example. I hope it is clear for you. So now we got the definitions for these words. We knew them. Okay, let's do the second exercise together. Okay, now we knew the meaning of the inseparable phrasal verbs in the previous slide. So now we have to do exercise number 3. We have to rewrite the sentences using the phrasal verbs from exercise 2 and a pronoun. Let's look to the first sentence. She found an old ball gone by chance in her wardrobe. She came across it in her wardrobe. Number 2. The older boys at school often behave cruelly to my brother. The old boys at school often pick on him. We do not say pick him on. Okay, you have to put the object after the inseparable phrasal verb. And why did I use him? Because he said to my brother. Number 3, our grandmother took care of my sister and me while our parents were away. So, our grandmother looked after us while our parents were away. Number 4, I can always rely on my sister to help me with my maths homework. So, I can count on her. Count on her. Number 5, Francisca reviewed the report before the meeting. Francisca went over it. Went, so reviewed, it means went over it. Number 6, the jacket doesn't match your trousers. The jacket does not go with them. Does not go with them. So match, go with them. It means go with them. Number 7, someone entered our classroom during the summer holidays. Someone broke into it. Broke into it because he just entered while that place is closed. Sorry. Okay? Okay, now all of us know the verb pay. When do I use the preposition for with pay, and when do I use only pay? When? Let's see. We use pay when the object is something we owe. For example, I say I have to pay a bill. I'm going to pay a fine. Here I'm talking about something that I already owe. The object, something I already have, and I have to pay a bill. So here I'm not using the preposition for. Clear? Okay, so when can I use the preposition for with pay? But we use pay for when the object is something we have bought. For example, I paid for the meal yesterday. She pays 50 GD for a jacket. So when I'm talking about something we have bought, I use the preposition for after the verb pay. Hello, 9th graders. The last lesson that we're gonna take on this week is the verb phrases that we use with money. Okay? If you look to exercise number 4 with me, you're gonna have 6 verbs that we have to match them with their phrases. When I say the word save up, what is the suitable phrase for it? I say save up for a games council. Number 2, when do I say spend money? I use spend money with the phrase on clothes. Number D, spend money on clothes. 3, the verb pay. I use it with the phrase by credit card. Pay by credit card. Number 4, take money. Take money. I use it with B, out of a cash machine. I have to take the money out of a cash machine. Number 5, invest. When do I use invest? With C, invest in the stock market. And the last one, ask for. When do we use ask for? We use it with A, ask for a loan. Now, 9th graders, we took from exercise 4 the verb phrases, right? We have to complete now. Exercise number 5, we have to complete the sentences with the correct form of the verbs in exercise 4. How can I do this one? According to the context of each sentence, okay? First sentence says, my brother spent all his money on CDs. He has got hundreds of them. So the suitable word over here is spent, because I'm talking about something that he buys a lot. Number 2, we bought our flights on the internet, so what do I use with for? Paid for them by credit card. Number 3, they cannot afford to buy a car, so they are going to take to the bank to ask for a loan. Number 4, my uncle made a fortune by investing in all shares. And number 5, before we have dinner, I need to go to cash machine. When I use the cash machine, I have to put the verb take, to take some money out. And the last one, my parents refuse to buy me a motorbike, so I will have to save up for one myself. So we finished this lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. If you need any question, please contact us on Zoom, and have a nice day. Thank you so much.
Hello everybody. How are you today, ninth graders? I hope you're having a great weekend. I miss you a lot. Today, we're going to start with a new grammar lesson. Our new grammar lesson is have something done. You can find it in your student book on page 79, workbook page 70. In this lesson, I'm going to show you an advanced way to improve your English. But first, let me ask you some questions. Do you cut your own hair? No. Do you repair your own car? Again, no. So what does this mean? This means you are probably like most people. You have someone else to do it for you. Or you have someone else perform or do that thing for you. And in this lesson, we are going to learn how to express that in a different way. We use the grammar rule have something done when you arrange for somebody to do something. That means you don't do the job, someone does the job for you. Now let's have a look at some examples. Example 1. As you can see in the picture, she doesn't cut her own hair. She has somebody do it for her. So she doesn't cut her hair. We can say it in another way. She has her hair cut. Example 2. You don't repair your shoes. That means you're not the one fixing them. You have somebody to repair them or fix them for you. So how can we say it in another way? You have your shoes repaired. Example 3. He won't repair the watch. Somebody else is going to do it. How do we say it? He will have the watch repaired. 4. We don't clean the windows. We have someone to clean them for us. How can we say it? We have the windows cleaned. 5. We haven't installed the software. We have had the software installed. We can also use the structure for unpleasant things that happened to you, which you didn't arrange. I had my car stolen last week. He had his arm injured in an accident. After looking at the examples, how do we structure a sentence? We structure the sentence starting with the subject. After that, it is followed by has or have, and remember that you have to put the verb in the correct tense. After that, we had a noun or the object of the sentence. And next we have the past participle, which is verb 3. Now, let's have some more practice. Let's make some sentences. Ready, set, practice. They don't cut the grass. They have somebody to do it for them. How do we say it? They have the grass cut. We didn't make the chairs. we had somebody make them for us. How do we say it? We had the chairs made. He won't make his clothes. He will have his clothes made. Always remember to look at the original sentence and put the has or have in the correct verb tense. We aren't washing the car. We're having the car washed. So this is all for this grammar rule. For further knowledge and practice, please go to your student book and workbook. Now, let's have a quick look at reflexive pronouns. What are they and why do we use them? Reflexive pronouns. First person. First person, we mean that the subject is I, so I use as a reflexive pronoun myself. If the subject is we use ourselves. Second person. When we say second person, we mean you. If it is only one person that we are addressing, we use yourself. If it is more than one person, you use yourselves. Third person. You know, third person usually means he, she, and it, and if it is plural, we use they. What are the appropriate reflexive pronouns for that? If it is a girl, she, we use herself. If it is a male or he, we use himself. If it is an animal, a cat, a dog, we use itself. And we can also use oneself. If we're talking about plural, we use themselves. A reflexive pronoun is used when the subject of the sentence and the object are the same. Let's have a look at some examples. I saw myself in the mirror. I looked at myself for a long time. Reflexive pronouns are also used for emphasis. Example: did someone fax the report to Mr. Lee? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. I myself faxed the report to him. Or we can say, I faxed the report to him myself. That means I am the one who faxed the report, no one else. And it's the kind of reassuring what I did. This is all for reflexive pronouns. Have a nice day, your English teacher.